What's going on, guys? This is Bunny Muffins. I'm here with the leveling guide today. If you're not Challenger, this is the guide for you because pretty much everyone at a high level is doing this leveling strategy. It's like very straightforward, and you need to get the basics down before you actually learn to play the more advanced parts of the game. So let's just dive right into it. I'm going to be going over 3 different strategies. One's kind of, I'll call it like the normal leveling strategy. You do this in pretty much 50 to 60% of your games. I'm going to be going into detail of one of the more interesting strategies, which is the all-in at 7 strategy. This one's really great for all those level 7 comps that don't really require an 8th person. Great for top 4s, great for getting your comp rolling much earlier and guaranteeing that you get the epics that you need because you roll much earlier than other people. And then the last one I'm going to go over is one where if you get a bad start, that's what you should be doing. It's kind of like making the best of a bad situation level up strategy. But let's just jump right into it. I'm going to be going over the standard build. So when you start the game, you'll level up to around level 2 after round 1. So you'll be level 2 with 2 experience at 2-1. And no one ever really levels up to level 4 on the first round, contrary to the previous patches. I have seen it on a rare occasion, but generally avoid doing that. Most of the good players I'm playing against all level up at 2-3 naturally. So pretty much what they do, they just don't hit the level up button and then they just wait till 2-3 to naturally level up, gaining 2 XP a turn. After that, almost everyone levels up to level 5 right after the carousel. So you'll want to press F 2 times. That's a hotkey for leveling up, and you just need 8 XP to do this. So first 2 rounds, very simple. All you have to do is level up twice at around 2-5. After that, it gets a little trickier. So after you do Krugs, you'll want to decide whether your team comp is needing a 6 person at 3-1, or if you can wait and build your economy one more round and level up at 3-2. So here are some scenarios where you'd want to level up early. Let's say you have an upgraded unit on your bench and you want to put them in. That would be one scenario. Or if you can add in 2 different synergies. That's the general guideline I use. There's no hard set rules because this game is very far from being solved, but that's generally the 2 guidelines I use. Let's say I get like an ocean mage or an infernal mage that I could put in. That gives me 2 different synergies. I'll go ahead and level up on 3-1. If not, I'm waiting till 3-2 because economy is something that you could translate into pretty much anything. Whereas once you spend the gold, you can never get it back. It's at this point where you could decide to roll down, but generally I encourage people to wait to roll down until after the carousel round. And here's why. After the carousel round, you'll get another item. So getting that item will let you decide what composition you want to run, because items or compositions are very dependent on what items you get. So you don't want to roll down all your gold right away, go for one comp, and then find out at carousel that the item that you're relying on getting isn't there. This is especially true since spatula items play a much larger role in this metagame than it had before. Another reason you'd want to do that is if you are in first place, for example, that just makes the game even harder because you definitely will not get what you want on the carousel. So if you are in like 8th place or 7th place, maybe you can consider rolling right after you level up. But in most cases, you want to wait until after carousel to roll down. So I'm going to circle that green over here to differentiate between leveling up and rolling down. Another note here, when you do roll down, you only want to roll down to 20. And if you hit everything, all your upgrades, you could stop rolling even if you're at 40 gold, in my opinion. But if you don't hit everything, roll down to around 20 gold. You always want to be rolling for at least 2 to 3 units at this point in the game. But after that, don't go any further, because if you do, you'll end up weakening yourself a lot for round 4 and round 5. You might not even make it to round 5 if you lose all your econ at this stage in the game. So after we do that, we kill the wolf camp, and then you could use the same thought process when going to level 7 as you did for level 6. If you have an extra unit to put in, or you have an extra upgraded unit that you can put in that gives a lot of synergies, you can consider leveling up at 4-1. If not, I highly recommend waiting till 4-2 because you get one more round of gold interest, and that just makes all the difference sometimes. Because having more gold now means you'll have more gold later, which makes your late game much, much stronger, even if it doesn't seem like it, because it's only, let's say, like 5 gold that you're saving up. But at this point, this is when you would want to roll down to 0. So most people do roll down to 0 at this same stage when they level up, because again, we'll have most of our composition finalized already, so we don't need to wait any longer to use up all our resources. And you really do want to roll all the way down to 0 unless you hit everything you can ever imagine. You want to be rolling down to 0 because everyone else is going to be doing that, and if you lose 2 rounds in a row, you could lose 40 health, for example, because you were greedy for 1 or 2 turns. So stage 4 is pretty straightforward. After that, you could roll a little further down. Let's say you're still missing 1 or 2 upgrades. You could roll to 0 again on the next round and maybe after carousel again. And if you are all-inning at level 7, say that you don't need to go to level 8, you could probably consider rolling down to 0 for the rest of the game. However, if you do want to hit level 8, you want to start saving maybe around after this carousel on stage 4 and level up to level 8 at around 5-3. This is when I see most players leveling up, but again, it depends on what your life total is. If you are running low, you need to be getting to level 8 as soon as possible and rolling on that level whenever you can. But let's say you can spare life and you're trying to go for first place. You generally want to wait until 5-3 until you level up to level 8. But that's pretty much it for the sort of standard way of playing. This is the one that you'll probably be doing in maybe 50 to 60% of your games. But now I'm going to go into the all-in at level 7 strategy, which is what I think is the most interesting one for this set. So now that I've cleared everything, let's go into the all-in at level 7. It's going to be the same thing for stage 2. You want to level up naturally to level 4 on 2-3, and then level up twice or press F twice on right after the carousel to level up to level 5. And yeah, again, that's going to be the same through all the games. But now, after this point, you want to save as much gold as you can until 3-2, where you'll level up to level 6. So far it is the same. But again, you're not going to be rolling, and then at 3-5, right here, you're going to be rolling to level 7. Instead of, in the previous games, you'd roll to 20. Here, you just use that gold to level up instead. And then you want to roll to 0 right away, and then keep rolling to 0 until the end of the game, essentially. So this is really useful, and rushing level 7 is great. For example, if you get a nice spatula item right after this carousel, you can save an extra slot and run maybe an extra mage, extra infernal, whatever your composition is, and just roll with that until the end of the game. Again, this rush level 7 and all-in at level 7 strategy is great because you can get access to early rolls, since you're rolling on 3-5 instead of 4-1 or 4-2. And that just means you're going to get access to the epics such as Olaf, Annie, Brand, all those really powerful units. You're going to get access to them first, and it pretty much guarantees that they won't be taken out of the pool by the time you roll. So this is great for all-ins, great for top 4ing, and great if you just really like tunneling a comp even. I wouldn't do this every game because not all compositions revolve around level 7. Many of them you need to get to level 8 or even level 9 to really get their full power. But this is a really interesting strategy that I've been trying, and I've been having a lot of success with it. Hopefully you do too. But this one's a lot simpler than the other one. But yeah, you'll pretty much want to save all your gold the entire game until you level up on 3-2, and then level up and roll to level 7 on 3-5 right after the carousel. Now we're going to go into the last level up strategy. You'll want to use a strategy when you have no upgraded units during the early parts of round 2. So again, you'll naturally level up to level 4 at 2-3, but let's say you still don't hit any of your 1-cost upgrades. That means you won't want to level up to level 5 after the carousel, because whenever you level up, you reduce the chances of getting the lower cost units. And since it's an early game, you don't have time to get the higher cost upgrades yet. So you just need to wait a little longer to get the lower cost upgrades, such as maybe you're running druids or woodlands. That's something you could be going for if you employ the strategy. Instead, we'll delay leveling up until Krugs or after Krugs. And this is for level 5. You'll want to level up at Krugs because the only reason why you'll do that is if you can't defeat Krugs without leveling up. You really want to make sure you are able to kill them. I haven't died to them yet in the new set, but I remember in the last set, it happened to me all the time. I'd get really greedy and die on Krugs, and you really do not want that happening. So if you do have a feeling where you're going to lose to these guys, you'll want to level up right away at 2-7. If not, you could wait and passively level up at around 3-1 right afterwards. And again, you don't want to be rolling this entire time. You just want to use the passive rolls in order to hit the level 1 units. But you could roll a tiny bit on Krug, so I'll kind of leave like a half circle here because you do need to make sure that you can kill that camp. The rest of the game, it does fall back into the standard pattern. You'll want to level up to level 6 on 3-2. However, you don't really roll during any of this time. Instead, what you'll want to do is wait until this entire round's over and then level up again on 4-2 and then roll to 0 at this stage as well. Reason behind that is because you build a bigger econ because you haven't leveled up as early, meaning that you'll tank a couple rounds during stage 3, which again is fine as long as you are above like maybe 50 health. And then here, when you level up and roll on round 4, you're going to be stronger than everyone because you'll have much more gold than anyone else. You'll have 50 gold even after you leveled up at this point in the game. You definitely do want to go to 0. And after that, let's say you hit a lot of your upgrades and you didn't have to roll to 0, you could save right back up and hit level 8 before everyone else. So you could wait until 5-1 to level up again to level 8 and then roll down to 0 again. This strategy is, again, really powerful, even though you use it when you're at a disadvantaged start because you get a lot more gold than anyone else. You could also use this when you have like a low gold start as well. For example, if you don't get any gold from any of the round 1 minions, it's another reason to employ this strategy because it'll allow you to catch back up in terms of your economy. You could also choose not to level up to level 8, and since you do have all your gold saved up at around 4-2, you can actually just roll all the way down to 0 every turn to go for 3-cost units such as Kindred, because Kindred's really strong in this meta. Any of the really strong 3-cost units that you want to 3-star, this strategy is very viable for those compositions as well. But yeah, those are the 3 leveling strats that I want to go over with you guys today. Hope you guys enjoy it. Let me know which one works the best for you, and I'll see you guys next time.
Hey guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe, and follow me on my socials below.